So I think I've pissed off a few people talking about the Fore fuel system and how I have come up with my own design, or like it's a collab idea, but come up with a different fuel system and it is better than Fore. And I think a lot of people skipped a lot of the context there and didn't watch the whole video through. But I definitely said you got to make sure you pick the right system and especially the bucket hat for your application. And I get it that Fore is a big name. Their fuel systems on like every single platform, GTRs to Vipers to Mustangs, Camaros, you name it, they've got a hanger for you. But the problem is this car, even though I showcase a lot of straight line stuff, we're taking those corners and those turns pretty heavy, and they're banked or sloped turns. So we get a little fuel slosh in there and going over bumps and stuff. So, and especially running the car under half a tank, because who wants to pit and refuel after every 2 or 3 laps, right? This is a track that I go on. It's not just down the drag strip that I showcase a lot. And not a lot of people, I don't think, watched that or got that from my videos. But the event is a 3-mile track, 2 short poles, down the track here and then down the drag strip that I post up a lot. And my issue was, that I've been battling for 2-3 years now, is being able to compete out there, stay out there on the track long enough, to get my runs in, survive as like an endurance kind of race, and still be able to have fun out there. Half tank, don't matter, quarter tank, we can still be out there, have fun. And I feel like not a lot of people understand what I'm actually doing. So I'm not saying that the Fore fuel system is bad. I'm saying that I think there's other better style buckets like the radium bucket that can help people that actually road course, time attack, drift their cars without having to go to a real dedicated external surge tank. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we decided to rip out the whole entire fuel system, and we fed it differently than the Fore. Because if you guys understand anything about how fluid and things work, feeding both rails and a high pressure fuel pump off of one line, one continuous line, is not as good as feeding everything individually. And I'm gonna get some backlash on it, but hey, Arcane Performance already has their own kit that does something very, very similar. And I'm not saying that there's just one way to route it, and the Fore fuel system is the only way to route a fuel system. There are other many ways to do it. Hey, on 2018 Plus Mustangs, people are deleting the high pressure. So, there's so many different ways to actually route this. Return style or return list is also a thing. One regulator or 2 regulators, it's so many different options that people have out there. So I'm not saying that this is the only way and the best way to do it, but I can say after 300 miles driven on a 3-mile track, and we didn't have any fuel starvations, any fuel hiccups, fuel slosh problems, we were able to do wide open throttle where we needed to without having any sort of hiccups. I think that's a win. And like I said, on the Fore fuel system, and especially the Fore hat, I think mainly the Fore hat, we had some fuel slosh, fuel cut a lot over coming out of those corners, especially approaching right around half tank. Coming around those corners and trying to go wide on the throttle, the car would fuel cut a little bit, we would nose dive, and then we would pick back up and go. And I was like, man, what the frick is that? But, Ford just keeps saying, keep your car over half tank full. But in the real world testing, it does not work. Maybe, for 99% of people that are on the Fore hat probably aren't road coursing, autocross, or time attacking it. Probably not. They're probably on a dedicated, external search tank, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying that the Fore fuel system is bad. Obviously, they sell those kits like hotcakes, you know what I mean? But I think there's definitely better ideas, better solutions, better hangers, fuel hangers for different applications, especially my application. And like I said, I know I don't showcase much of me driving around the track, but I can promise you, coming out of those corners and try to go wide and throttle, we're having problems. And that's where you lose fuel pumps. And you do a couple times, I mean, those pumps run pretty hot, half tank. We notice fuel temps right about 150, 160, 70 degrees fuel temp. And some people are gonna say, well, you need to add an external fuel cooler, this and that. But we've never had that many problems at this event. And honestly, a lot of people are probably just a bunch of trailer queens that do one pass down drag strip, let the car sit for half an hour, or 2 hours, and then they do another pass down drag strip. We ran this car 8 hours Friday and Saturday continuously. Only stopped for 2-3 minutes to swap passengers, shut off the car maybe to fill up gas, but nothing over extended period of time, like 2 or 3 hour shut off times and then go back out on the track. No, we didn't do none of that. It's been constant on the track. So that's why I say I think I found the perfect fuel system, especially being on a brushless fuel pump too. And I'm not going to dive too much into that, but I do want to say I'm not bashing Fore, but I think there's other better solutions to different applications of racing, and which a lot of people know and a lot of people understand. They just don't want to admit it, because when someone says they took out the Fore fuel system, or they ditched the Fore fuel system, or they're not going with the Fore fuel system, it's just like, dude, you're automatically wrong. But I'm here to say you're not wrong. It's okay to change things up. It's okay to do different things for your application. And the minute I say road course, everyone just kind of shuts up. They're like, oh, yeah, okay. So keep them riding short. I'm not saying the Fore fuel system is bad. There are other solutions. I'm going to say it again. There are other solutions, because I feel like people didn't watch that section. Arcane Performance has a very, very similar kit. So I really, really like the radium hanger. And I love how they feed the fuel rails individually. So they actually use a Y fitting here. I'm using a triple split fitting here. So very, very similar kit. Obviously, I use the FC3 to stage my brushless fuel pump, and I'm on a brushless fuel pump. So little variables there, but hey, it's a solid kit, you guys. I'm not saying everyone jump ship and try it out, but I can say it's a pretty darn good kit. By the time you lose 2 pumps, could have just had yourself a brushless pump. Just saying. So, peace.